With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves with Gary K.
Hey everyone, this is Gary K, and we are doing a post-ISE video cast with one of the companies that has with a company that has one of the coolest names in the industry. The company is actually called Tiger Party, and rAVe Cheng is the one who is the CEO of the company. And before we did the broadcast, he told me this story because I had to ask how you got the name. So rAVe, you got to tell us. You got to tell everybody how you got the name.
Well, 15 years ago, when me and my business partner, we start thinking, to do something, make something in New York when we arrive. And Tiger Party is actually not a party. It's actually a political party. So when we started, we was like, okay, we need to do something. So let's form a political party and let's do something surprise and fun. And so we want to legalize marijuana 15 years ago. So we started Tiger Party. But very quickly, we realized for two immigrants to come to New York City and start a political party to push this is too difficult.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's start a company first. And so we reused the name for Tiger Party. And
the name stuck. I mean, I think you can't make a story like that up. That's such a great story. You started as a political party to try to legalize marijuana. Now you're making an awesome tech product. Okay, so basically you were at ISE, and I want to encourage people to go to ravepubs.com/ISE and watch the two videos we shot there, because you demonstrated, I should say, your proprietary digital signage software platform, Go Tiger. Talk about sort of what differentiates you from all the other and by the way, congratulations on your product, because there's a lot of hardware companies in the digital signage market, but the creative content and the software is where we've been lacking. So thank you for doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for having me. So we are the company has been in Times Square for the past 15 years. And
if you've been to Times Square and seen any of those LEDs, you've seen Tiger Party stuff.
Yes. So one thing that we are really strong and we have our technology advance is for the interactive component of that. A lot of time that we realize that the software, the signage software in the market doesn't actually do what we want, which is to engage with the audience. So we have our own in-house engineer. So we start to build our own software and aggregate everything into our own proprietary signage software. So the key thing for our signage system is warping functionality, because going forward, most of the signage in the outdoor digital signage wall, they're not going to be like a square. They're not going to be a 16:9 or standard resolution. They're going to be curving and different shape and have a unique identity of themselves. Some of them could be dynamic, could be moving and like a mechanical device. So all this need to change in the viewing angle of the audience, and then you need to warp. You need to change the viewing angle of your content based on the surface of the digital billboard. And for that, none of the signage system on the market do that. So that's why we have this functionality warping, that we will be able to change dynamically based on the surface of the billboard to change how the scene play back.
So basically, what you're doing is you're doing the visual correction digitally, so that when you look at it from the ground or you're looking at the sign, regardless of the shape, that it doesn't appear warped unusually. Even though the display might be warped. So you can't just like put rectangle content on a display that's shaped like a wave. You have to actually you have to correct for the visual
aspect of that.
The visual shape that's gonna create on the floor. And so that way on the ground, so that when you're watching it, the content looks fluid and normal to you, right? It doesn't look abnormal. So that forced reality concept, that forced reality concept where put a frame around an LED that's on a corner, and the content looks 3-dimensional. I assume that that's part of that proprietary software that you have.
Yeah. So having a 3D content is what usually, I mean, right now it's pretty popular on most of the sign right now. But what we can do is not just visual correcting that, but we can make, based on the different viewing angle, we can change that. So instead of you have multiple different video for different viewing angle, we can have one video and then we swap the video when it output to the sign and for different angle of the audience.
So as you're walking by the sign, it still looks normal to you. So do you is this all done on a computer, or do you have to figure out, do you have to, as a producer, let's say you're a content producer, you're a content creator.
Yes.
Do you have to know the angle at which the sign is going to be mounted
to
do that, or do you do that inside of your software?
We'll do that inside of software, but basically we will do the tracking on the and where the viewing angle of the audience. So as a producer of the content, they just need to assume that the whole thing is like regular shape of flat surface, and we do the warping in the background, basically.
That's cool. And I'm assuming this is technology's patented or patent pending, or how do you address other companies trying to copy what you're doing out there?
Well, firstly, it's not so easy to copy that, and of course, this is something we're doing patent pending and try to make this as unique. But at the same time, there's so many different ways of doing that, and that's one of our advantage of the Go Tiger signage system.
Yeah. Oh, well, I tell you, you're going to want to watch this video here's the deal. We have a lot of companies in our industry that are installing or touch the process of digital signage. And what they do is they leave off the end. They sell the hardware, they sell the CMS, but then they don't participate in the creative. And I think that's one of the areas that you're trying to help is by coming to ISE and InfoComm and shows like that, is you're saying, look, why not participate in the creative side of things? So how hard is it to use your platform, and how hard is it to learn, and what kind of people are really good at it? Is it people that study graphic design in college? Is it people that really know Adobe InDesign, or is it people that know Photoshop? Like, what kind of person would gravitate towards this?
Well, I mean, we try to give the tool and try to support, like you are absolutely on the point, that we try to support the graphic designer, we try to support the content creator, because we understand ultimately that's the things they're going to show to the audience, to the consumer.
Right.
So 2 key points from our player is we support Apple ProRes natively. So a lot of the content creator, where you're saying that when they output from their machine, they choose the native output format from their Mac. Most of the content creator using Mac instead of Windows. So when they output their content, they're using Apple ProRes 422, 444, like really, really sometimes uncompressed content. So the file is huge, depending on the resolution. For example, we have a content with like 30 seconds and will be 30 gigabytes. And most of the signage system in the market doesn't play that. They usually play with H.264, H.265, and MP4. They're not used to those heavy content and to play back frame by frame. So our signage system is designed for the content creator, for the graphic designer, for them to be able to output the native format from their Mac computer directly without to reformat and recompress and degrade the quality of the video. So this way, whatever the show's on will directly be seen on the sign. That's one thing. And then another thing that we do is we have a conditional layer, and conditional layer is for those producer to be able to select with interaction that they want with the sensor, different sensor. For example, this time with ISE, we have a motion sensor, where a camera sensor, where when you put particular gesture, like for example, give a thumbs up and then the screen will directly interact with you to show another thumbs up on the screen. So this kind of conditional layer is we do the layer on top of each other, and all you need to do is just check the box, say, hey, I want a motion sensor and all that, and conditional that, and easier for the producer to be able to produce the final result.
What I think is really cool is that, when most people go to college and they're learning graphic design or they're learning digital art, they feel like, okay, well, all I'm going to be able to do is do websites. Like I'm going to design websites the rest of my life. But what they don't realize is they can do some really cool stuff. Let me pop up a video up here and share this with the audience so that they see exactly what we're talking about here, because this is the kind of work that you do. Is that you're producing the content that people are seeing on an everyday basis on these screens, and you're allowing the content to be dynamically seen, and sort of it's almost like a form of immersion, right?
Yes. So basically, we want to basically give you the experience of the whole environment. So to me, the digital out home is going to become an experiential environment. It's like you're giving a 360 surrounding, and it's no longer just an advertisement in front of you and then you try to see it. Right now it's becoming you interact with that, and then you're surrounded by that. You own the entire atmosphere and everything. It's giving you this visual effect and an audio effect. All of this all together. It's not just as another advertisement anymore. It's the whole experience package now.
Yeah, I'm so excited about this because I think there's so many opportunities for integrators and the whole AV community to get into this segment of the market. So I want everyone to check out. It's thetigerparty.com is the name, is how you find them online. The company's Tiger Party, but it's thetigerparty.com online. rAVe, I'm excited to meet you. I'm excited that you're in the industry, and I want everyone in our industry to contact you and engage with you, because I think that you're the future of our industry, because digital signage isn't limited to menu boards and isn't limited to drive-throughs and isn't limited to wayfinding. It's really unlimited into immersion and
Yes.
staging and every kind of scenario you can think of, like taking a museum and making it dynamic, right?
Yes.
I mean, taking a street and making it, and by the way, a lot of this is supported by advertising. So there's a lot of revenue opportunity here, and a lot of revenue share opportunity, a lot of recurring revenue opportunities. And you're the company that's going to basically drive that.
Yeah, I mean, last year we have done one of the campaign with the tourism Portuguese, and then and what happened is we basically synchronize all the billboard, and then we connect with the Ronaldo, and then to have Ronaldo's face shows up on all the billboard all at once and interact with the audience,
which is amazing if you think about it, because they're all on different little networks, right?
Yes.
So you're syncing all that, all that content. You think about New York Times Square as an example. There's not just one network driving all of those billboards. There's like 30 networks driving those things.
Exactly, and each of them has an individual hardware, and they have a different operation team, all that, and try to synchronize all this to see all the faces shows up at the same time, and that's pretty challenging, and that's what we specialize in.
Yeah, so thetigerparty.com. rAVe, thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Check them out, thetigerparty.com. Go to ravepubs.com/ISE. Type in Tiger Party to see the videos we shot at ISE. Thanks, rAVe.
Great.